Speed Weeks at Daytona International Speedway for the WRA Oreo Cup Series is here as we're getting set for Group 1A qualifying, as we're about to find out who will be sitting themselves on the front row for next Sunday's Daytona 500. I am the Blue Hedgehog, ready to call today's race. Let me go get the door open. Sorry, my roommate need to get in the house because the door got locked for some reason. And I believe we already have our first driver out on the track. Yes, we do. It's the number 23 Skittles Ford out of Daniel Foyles Racing. That will be Annie Thomas. Getting herself up to speed. During these two sessions, Group 1A and 1B, I'm going to be going over the introductions of all 54 of these drivers. Annie Thomas does not need an introduction, but she does anyway. Kind of cloudy for this first session, as we have 40 minutes on the clock. That should give me plenty of time to introduce the 54 drivers that will take part in the Oreo Cup Series this season. 54 full-time drivers, that is. We'll get to the 17 in a minute, even though he posted his first lap time, but that's because his time was already behind the, his pit stall's behind the start-finish line, so the next time lap for him will be his first official time lap. Annie Thomas is a former PCSRA Monster Energy Series champion. She won the championship back in 2015, driving for Fitzwater Australia Racing. Since then, Annie Thomas has not been to victory lane, and she will be racing her number 23 M&M's Caramel machine as she posts a 47.890, which has already been beaten. But Annie Thomas will be running that Hyundai Sonata in the Monster Energy Series. She's also one of two drivers who is running for the Independence Trophy, the other being Nathan Orman in the TM Master Cup Series. The only catch is Thomas has not run her 4 races, whereas Nathan Orman has. The only events Thomas has run has been the special events. Kate Anderson in the 10 car. Kate Anderson replacing the now banned Colin Cropley, which you probably all know why he got banned in the first place, now don't we? Kate Anderson in the Smithfield Ford. Got a couple of other teammates we'll see. Emily Jones, who was, by the way, the quickest in this group from practice the other day. Running the Clean, let's see what sponsor is. The Clean Parts Ford Fusion out of Go Fast Racing. That's Jessica Shelton in the 9 car. Shelton will be retiring from my series at the end of this season as a little farewell tour. Jessica Shelton running the same number she runs in the Foster Series, the 9 Napa Chevy out of Hendrick Motorsports. Monica Towns, who you will see her in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series coming in February for Indiana Motorsports. She's driving the Eris Toyota out of Joe Gibbs Racing. Frank, how are you today? If you're still watching the chat. Zachary Fitzwater in the 14. I was mentioning about Annie Thomas, who won the championship. This is the owner Fitzwater has. Annie Thomas and Zachary Fitzwater are going to be reunited. That's good. I will also throw a little note. If I mispronounce anybody's names, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get used to these 54 names. And as I said before, going back and forth between this series and the Foster Series, Can be sometimes, can scramble my brain, but hey, it's okay. Allison Liera in the 02. Of course, she's running in the Foster Series, which, by the way, I have not recorded the Michigan race. I still have to record the race. I've just recorded qualifying, I believe, last night as I'm streaming this. But qualifying has already gone up. Allison Liera running the 02 for Penske Racing. Samantha Jones in the 33 for, I think this is, forgot what, Circle Sport. Thank you, producer. Driving for Circle Sport. Sean Art running the Geico Chevy Camaro out of Germain Racing. Sean Art will also be running the, yeah, I will check and see if your drivers are in this group or in Group 2. Mention if you're not in Group 1, you're in Group 2. Just going to throw that out. But Sean Art will be running in the number 59 Ford in the Coca-Cola Truck Series and the number 18 Toyota in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, which will be coming up very soon. There's Monica Towns. Let me also use this. The 27 is a new name. That's Tanner Parton. Tanner Parton, I have no notes about. But David Heller, I do have notes about. David Heller is back. He's running the number 1 gear wrench Chevy Camaro for Chip Ganassi Racing. We'll see how he does. Matty Crenshaw will be in the Monster Energy Series for Indiana Motorsports. I believe she's driving the 50, if I'm correct. I don't know. I'll have to check. Hi, 4 people watching in the chat, by the way. CJ Bracken, who won the most recent Foster Series race in the at Pocono, if you weren't with us for that event. CJ drives the 5 in the Foster Series, and he has now locked himself possibly a spot into the playoffs. I will get to you in a second if you're in this deal, Reggie. Don't worry. Zachary Taylor in the 18. How fitting is this? Taylor's driving the number 18 in this series. He drives the 18 in the Foster Series. Illuminati officially confirmed. Zachary Taylor has had... He was disappointed with his result coming up, or last... last week he was a little disappointed. He was going to put Jacob Redd in the hot seat. There's Reggie Fogelman. He is in this deal. The 8 car is not in this field because the 8 car was part of the Clash, so the 3 of Reggie Fogelman. And he's right with Nathan Orman. Like Annie Thomas, Nathan Orman is a former Monster Energy Series champion. He actually won the title not this past season, but the season before, where he made it in the Final Four. But he was driving a Chevrolet. He's driving the Los Angeles Angels Ford out of, here's a bit of a shocker, Daniel Voiles Racing, of all people. Here's Reggie Fogelman. Let me see if there's any other drivers I missed. Here's one of them. And here's a bit of irony. Ormy's huggable driver, Courtney Lynn. Courtney Lynn went all of last season in the Monster Energy Series without a trip to victory lane. She's running the Kellogg's throwback of the Terry Labonte on her Chevy Camaro. Daniel Voiles, well, this is going to be the only paint scheme you can pick apart of the 26. That groovy red number 26, Daniel Voiles, sponsored by Jelly Belly. Hopefully they didn't fill up that car with jelly beans. No pun intended. Samet Ozkan making his debut on this channel. I've had Samet Ozkan in, if I'm not mistaken, I believe in one of the, I think either in the Red Bull GT Series or one of the special event series. One or the other. Annie Crenshaw, who, here's the bit of note, when the Oreo Cup Series and Foster Series go on a bit of a break, you will see Annie Crenshaw racing in the AutoZone Amateur Series. She's one of 2 drivers in the AutoZone Amateur Series that are in this event. We'll get to the other one in just a minute. We've already gone Samantha Oscon. Jarrett Underhill, who won the last special event. He's driving the 6 car. He's also driving the 6 car for Foster's. There's his teammate right there, the 17. And let me make sure I pronounce this correctly, because if I screw this up, I'm going to be in trouble. That's Lucian Bianchi. Yay, I got it right. Hallelujah. Bianchi is a driver I have never heard of. I think this is his first ever time he's racing on this channel. Bradley Ream in the 22. Driving for the 22 car. He's also going to make his Foster Series debut coming up this weekend at Michigan. Driving the, you guessed it, the 22. Let's see how he does here in this qualifying session. There's his teammate, Carolina Bradley. She is the other driver, like Annie Crenshaw, who will be racing here at Daytona in a few weeks in the AutoZone Amateur Series. Or actually, Annie Crenshaw's not racing the AutoZone Amateur Series, but Carolina Bradley is, and she's got up in the wall a little bit. Carolina Bradley will be driving the 06 Chevrolet in the AutoZone Amateur Series. There's Zachary Fitzwater. Maximilian Chilton, who I have never heard of this driver until this weekend. Driving the number 4 Jimmy John's Ford out of Stewart-Haas Racing. Like I said, I'm one of many drivers I have never heard of before. That's David Heller coming off pit road. We've already introduced these drivers. I'll check and see who we did not introduce. Ah, there's one we haven't introduced, and I'll make sure I get this name correct. That is Tatiana Noguera. Tatiana Noguera. Tatiana is another driver I have never heard of before. As we look forward to seeing how she will do here in her driving the...
Name is Noguera. With an O.
No, it's with an A on when somebody signed up. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the O.
No, it's the A. Let's check and see if anybody else I did not introduce. Checking. Ah, there's somebody I haven't introduced. Kyle Langland. Langland is a veteran. He's one of a few drivers who are veterans in this series. Kyle Langland running the 25 Dodge, sponsored by Valvoline Night School on his Dodge. Kyle Langland made it into his first playoffs, but was eliminated after the round of 8. So Langland will have to see if he can have a good season. Of course, he was one of the drivers that took part in the Clash, along with Daniel Voiles and drivers. So we'll see how he does in his second season. I believe we've gone through everybody. I am correct. We have gone through everyone. Woohoo! Daniel Voiles going to the pits. This is the fastest lady in town. That is Annie Crenshaw. Annie Crenshaw, by the way, the 17-year-old, because she has not turned 18. She will miss Ricky Raceway, Atlanta, and Las Vegas due to the fact she has not turned 18, but she will get a playoff waiver, which means she will need to get a win in the Coca-Cola Truck Series, try to get herself into the top 30 in points for that win, if she does win, to count towards a spot into the playoffs. I'm going to go ahead and share this with everybody in the President's chat if you are, as far as that is concerned. Beep. Sorry if I was a couple of minutes late. I had to take a shower because I spilled some soda all over me, which I smelled like root beer, but I finally don't smell like root beer. So, yeah, so sorry about the little delay there. Right now, the goal is to be 12th, top 12 in this session, to be one of the 24 drivers going into round 2 of qualifying. Right now, that spot will go to Fitzwater. And I was correct. If you don't make it in the top 12, we will combine the times from this group and group number 2, and we'll find out who amongst themselves will be transferring into round 2, or where you will start in the duels. All the duel lineups will be in the Discord. I will try to get I'll try to get either myself or somebody to write down all the times, so that way everything is all good to go. And also, I'll be making some modifications to the INI, so we can have some wrecks, if there are any, just to make the racing a bit exciting. Because lately, I don't know why I haven't been making stuff exciting, so yeah. But the next time the 8 car is on track, I believe the 8 car won't be on track until we get the All-Star Race weekend. Which I haven't decided where that will be. So we'll see about that. There's Annie Crenshaw. Of course, you know, you have Annie Crenshaw, who's going to run in the Truck Series, the Coca-Cola Truck Series, for Cody Smart, who you'll see Cody Smart and the other 26 drivers that are not in this group. They will be in Group 2.
Hey, Daniel, where do you go Vegas race?
I don't know. There's Jared Underhill. It's going to be an interesting combination for Penske. You know, you have Bradley Reed.
See convection? Bush?
I don't know, but anyway. You have Bradley Reed, back on topic here. Bradley Reed, who, like I said, ran in the DRO Red Bull GT Series. You got Annie Crenshaw, who's going to be a Truck Series driver. And you also have Carolina Bradley, who's an AutoZone Amateur Series driver. And also, I didn't realize this, but both Crenshaw sisters are in this group session, the 20 and the 2. Woohoo! Hallelujah! Yeah, in fact, all 3 of them are in this session. David Heller, the slowest, at a 46.117. He's definitely going to have to pick it up. That's probably because he's been by himself in the draft. He needs to find a drafting partner. There's Annie Thomas. The interesting thing about Joe Gibbs Racing is that, you know, you have Tatiana, who, like I said, we've never had this young lady on the track. And then the other 3 we've seen in either the Foster Series or in Maddie Crenshaw and Monica Towns' case, who are going to be racing in the in Monica Towns' case, she'll be in Buffalo Wild Wings. Maddie Crenshaw will be in the Monster Energy Series. So that's going to be an interesting combination, how Zachary Taylor's going to work. Of course, with his two drivers he knows, and then Tatiana he's never raced with before. Would be nice if one of these days we get Tatiana a ride in the Monster Energy Series, or actually in Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings or Amateur Series. Speaking of the Truck Series, brings me to my next topic. To let everyone know, there's going to be some changes in regards of the to not 2023 but 2024. Because 2023, I'll go ahead and throw a disclaimer. Yeah, she would love that. In fact, I think all of the development drivers, those of you that have signed up, will possibly run in one of the 4 series, but the only way they would run would be 2024. Because here's the thing: I've already recorded all of the 2023 races for Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Monster. Now, so to let everybody know, the plans for 2024, they're going to change. For instance, we're going to separate the real drivers from the development drivers. And you're all thinking, okay, what do you mean by that? Well, you know, in 2023, or actually in a couple of weeks, we're actually going to have the AutoZone Amateur Series, where we talked about Carolina Bradley is going to be in that race. We're going to have, and this has been something that the presidents and I have done, where I have separated the Monster Energy Series drivers from the Foster Series drivers. So we may end up having Trucks, Xfinity. You know how I have Foster Series as the tier series for the real drivers. We're going to have a Truck Series, which, as like I said, we're going to separate the real drivers from the fantasy drivers, or development drivers in this case. So we could have, you know, Trucks and Xfinity be like the real drivers, which I still don't have a name for the Xfinity series. I'm still working on that. And then the 4 main series that are coming, which is the AutoZone Amateur Series, Coca-Cola Truck Series, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Monster Energy Series. Those will be for the development drivers only. So that will make things a bit interesting. But here's a little catch about the Amateur Series that you need to know for 2023. Yes, we're still going to have a championship. No, there's not going to be playoffs, but there's a little gift at the end of the road. At the end of this year, go ahead. If you want to suggest a name, you can do it here in the chat or in a DM with me. I don't mind. Reggie, you are currently on the bubble to transfer into the next round of qualifying. Oh, we got a crash. We got a crash, ladies and gentlemen. We have smoke. We've had a crash on the front straightaway. Jared Underhill, I believe, is damaged. This was another thing I didn't mention to you guys. If you crash in this qualifying session, not only are you going to a backup car, but you have to start the rear of the field. We've had a big accident on the front straightaway. Oh, Sean Art was collected. Now, what in the world happened over here? Yeah, I may actually do the Coca-Cola series for Xfinity. Let's see. Contact between Sean Art and Bradley Ream got Jared Underhill. Allison Liera got a piece of it. Oh, boy. Courtney Lynn, I believe she's going to miss this wreck. She's going to pit road. She got a little bit of damage, but I don't think it's too big. They will definitely get that fixed, but that's bad news for 4 drivers. Sean Art, Annie Crenshaw, Jared Underhill, and Bradley Ream. That means those 4, they're going to backup machines, and they're going to start the rear of the field no matter what happens. As we're down to 15 minutes left to go in this session. Hi, Ormy. As Huggable Ormy just joined the chat. But back to what I was saying about the series. You know, I'm definitely going to do the Coca-Cola series, which will be the real life Xfinity series drivers. Trucks, I've already picked out the name, which will be the PCSRA Camping World Truck Series. DHL Truck Series. I may have to get somebody to make me a logo for DHL Truck Series. That sounds like a good name. There's Samantha Jones, CJ Bracken. I don't know if the 22 got tight or the 13 came up. Whatever the case, 4 drivers are absolutely going to backup machines. Your 8 car, the 8 car is not in the in the session because the 8 car is only reserved for one race deal drivers that will be in the All-Star race later this season. So the 8 car is not in the session. Let me see. 17 is 13th. That would be... So, wow. By a 10th of a second. The 11 is 21st in the session. And then, let me see. Trying to see what were your drivers again. Would have been nice if I written down the drivers so I know who is won. Let's see. The 11 is currently 21st. 17 is currently 14, so almost in the cut line. And then, give me a second here. I'm trying to find out, and then, oh, the 4 car. Oh, 4 car is second quickest. So right now, as of now, one of your drivers is moving on to the next round. There's Annie Crenshaw, who has gone to a backup car. Which means, as I said before, and I'll say it again, if you get involved in an incident here in this qualifying session, not only do you go to a backup car, you will have to start the rear of the field regardless which duel you're in. Reggie Fogelman got bumped. Courtney Lynn is on the bubble. Ormy's 18th. And I'm the fastest out of the DVR gang. And, of course, Nathan Orman out-qualifies Annie Thomas, which Annie Thomas is probably saying, well, I kind of expected Ormy Bear to out-qualify me, so I'm not surprised. Yep, typical Annie Thomas. No wonder why she has a championship in the PCSRA in the Monster Energy Series. Actually, Ormy, you're not slow. You're actually the second fastest of the DVRs because you're actually outpacing Annie Thomas. And speaking of DVR, the funny thing about DVR is that you have an interesting driver lineup for this season. You have Nathan Orman, Annie Thomas, former champions in the Monster Energy Series, and both running for the Independence Trophy in the Master Cup Series, which Ormy's ran his 4 races. Thomas has not. You have Daniel Voiles, who is a former NOS Energy Cup champion on Elijah's channel, which I don't know why Elijah changed his mind at the last minute to have the Pepsi Cup Series back, but that's besides the point. And then you have Vanellope von Schweetz, who's going to be the lonely DVR representative in group number 2 coming up. Which ride are you talking about, Reggie? Are you talking about the Coca-Cola Truck Series, or are you talking about the Truck Series where I'm going to have the real-life drivers? You didn't sign in, sadly. Rip. Wah, wah, wah. If nothing changes, I may end up ending this session. Yeah, and also, Nathan Orman could be running full-time in the ASCC next season. There's also a chance that Annie Thomas could be running either in TM Whites, or possibly in Fark. We're under 10 minutes to go in the session because I set the timer for 40 minutes. I'll probably set it to like 20 for Group 2. And if no times improve, I may just end the session early. And looks like Courtney Lynn's going to move on the next round. And oh, here's the funny part. Courtney Lynn outqualifies Nathan Orman. That's kind of interesting. Actually, hold the phone. Never mind. I was about to get ready to say, hold the phone. I thought I had another driver from Ormy. I also see Kyle Langland's in the next round, so I may end up ending the session a little early so we can get to Group 2. But Tatiana is going to have some work to do to get some speed in that 11. Currently 21st quickest. Okay. I'll keep it at 40. See how Tatiana is going to do. Let's see. We have Tatiana the rookie. We have Crenshaw who's running. Actually, Maddie Crenshaw is actually going to be filling in for Annie Crenshaw, I believe, for the first 3 races. I could be wrong. I'll have to get Cody to confirm that with me. And Annie Thomas, who's a former champion in the PCSRA. Of course, Annie Thomas's girlfriend, Betty Johnson, who you will see her and the other Monster Energy Series drivers when we go to Ricky Raceway. Also, Annie Thomas, along with her team owner, Daniel Voiles, they're also going to have throwback schemes. Of course, I mentioned about Annie Thomas's scheme. This is the 2007 David Rudiman Domino's Pizza throwback that David Rudiman ran at Talladega, where he ran really well until the engine went kaboom. And of course, Annie Thomas would like to avenge after a disappointing result in the Non-Synergy Cup Series, or what is now the Pepsi Cup Series. Of course, ever since leaving the WRLA, DVR has a team in now the ASCC, PCSRA, this series, which will be a nice little replacement for WRLA. And let me see here. PCSRA, WRA, ASCC, and also the Master Cup Series, which Annie Thomas is running for the Independence Trophy. Of course, like I said, Ormy's ran his 4 races earlier this year, if you haven't seen them. Annie Thomas has not made a start yet. Of course, Annie Thomas will drive the 62 Gessler for the for next season. Which series are you referring to, Reggie? Let me see. Oh yeah, for the new Trucks and Xfinity series, I may not do signups, but if you want to join, I'll probably have signups in the Discord. But I will have to still reserve the ride for the presidents, like Cody, Ormy, Taylor, Allie, etc., etc. Yeah, I don't know when the signups will be for those 2 new series, because like I said, I still have Foster series, because here's the thing. Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Munster, there's not going to be signups because I've already gotten the rides already taken care of. Oh, for any of you asking what mod am I running the Buffalo Wild Wings series as well as the new Xfinity series, the NXS20 mod. Which will mean, for the first time ever, Honda Accord will make their debut in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. As we're down to 5 minutes to go in this session, has anyone jumped up into the top 12? The answer is no. Reggie Fogelman is 21 hundredths slower than Courtney Lynn, so he needs to find at least another tenth or two to even make it in the next round. Ormy's moved up to 15th. And the 10 car of Kate Anderson is the slowest of the bunch. And the good thing for Annie Thomas is that in case she was outside the top 35 in Monster rather, she has the chance to use the championship provisional. Tatiana did improve her time, but she's like 24th quickest. Oh, wow. Tatiana's out-qualified Taylor. Okay, that's embarrassing for Zachary Taylor. In fact, all four of the JGR cars would not make it to the next round of qualifying. And here's the funny insult. Zachary Taylor's getting out-qualified by 3 women. Two from his account, 2 of his drivers. And then Tatiana has out-qualified Taylor. That's kind of ironic. And as soon as I say that, Taylor goes to 11th quickest. Wow, that was commentator curse, Boyles. Good job, you ding-a-ling. I see all 3 Penske cars as of now moving on the next round. Courtney Lynn got bumped out. That will put the 32 on the bubble. That would be Emily Jones. So now Courtney Lynn needs to pick up some time as we're down to the later stages of the session. Also, I did not mention this in the intro. I do apologize to everybody about what happened in the Oreo Clash, which was kind of, well, I don't know how I should say it in a friendlier term, but let's say it was not a pretty term, if you know what I mean. Yeah, definitely. Nathan Orman's now 16th quick, and he's still getting that qualified by Courtney Lynn. That's kind of interesting, if you ask me. So we're looking at Allison Liera and the 27. That's Tanner Parton in the 27. Tanner still trying to find some speed. From 13th on back, they better hope to pray they have a good race on Wednesday, as we'll bring you the Gatorade duels to determine the rest of the lineup. And here's why I say the times are going to be important, because here's the thing. The top 14 finishers, excluding the front row, will make the Daytona 500 based of racing their way into the 500. The next 6 drivers get in with their fastest time from this session today. And then the final 6 will be going to last year's owner points, and if some of them don't have owner points, it will revert back to time trials from today. So even if some of these drivers, like the 20, 23, 13, 11, etc., don't do well, they're going to have to make sure they race their way in, because let's see, I do not think the 11 car ran last season, but I'll have to go double checking that. But right now, the 2, the 4, the 6, the 12, 22, 26, 31, 25, 1, 02, 18, and 32 as of now would be transferring into the next round. But the 2, 6, 22, and 13, because they went to a backup car, regardless where they qualify, will mean all for naught, because they will have to start at the rear of the field in the dual races on Wednesday due to being in a backup car. As we're down to the final 10 seconds of this first round. 3, 2, 1. That is it. Group A is done. The red and black flags are out. Means this session is DONE. And there it is. So that will mean the session will be complete. I'll make sure to shut up the official because the official sometimes... Yes. They will move on the next round, but remember, because they went to backup cars, wherever they qualified, they will have to start at the rear of the field due to a backup car. Because I have the game editor to where I can edit the grids. Not surprising, Nathan Orman outqualified Annie Thomas, which doesn't surprise me. The good news for Ormy is that the fourth driver in that group will be coming out. That'll be Vanellope von Schweetz, and you can't wait to hear. And I bet you Annie Thomas does not want me to hear the sentence, "Why do I say Vanellope von Schweetz?" in the next round of the session, as that is it. To shut up the official, there is the times right over here. We have Annie Crenshaw, Maximilian Chilton, Jared Underhill, Carolina Bradley, Bradley Ream, Daniel Voilsmet, Ozcon, Kyle Langland, David Heller, Allison Lear, Zachary Taylor, and Emily Jones by 6/1000th of a second will make it in the next round. Drivers who will not make it in the next round will be Courtney Lynn, Reggie Fogelman, Jessica Shelton, Nathan Orman, Zachary Fitzwater, the 17 of Lucian Bianchi, Samantha Jones, Maddie Crenshaw, Monica Towns. Wow, that's a big shocker seeing Zach Taylor's two female drivers not making it. Tanner Parton, Annie Thomas, Sean Art, Tatiana Noguera, CJ Bracken, and Kate Anderson, the slowest in this session. So while I get ready to set up everybody for group number 2, so give me 1 second as I'm going to rest my phone and get ready to bring you group 2 as I'm going to shut up the deals. I will try to take a screenshot of the times, so, yeah, I'll take a screenshot after the stream goes up. I need to make sure who advanced, so that way, I didn't put in who advanced, unless Ormby's already done that. Alright. So here we are back. Cloudy conditions. As group number 2 is now on track. Time to introduce the other 27 drivers. As everybody is currently getting gridded up. You've already met the first 27. You're going to meet the next 27. And there's one of them right there, that 37. Be nice to put the entry list up. That's Ashley Burns, a driver I've never heard of before. Should have wrote it on my iPad. So that way I'd know who is moving on. Yeah, I may end up doing that, but, yeah, I hadn't decided if I was going to do that, so. Not so interested. All 3 of my drivers were in this one, yeah. But still going to watch. Well, I appreciate that. I should have put it on my notepad, but that's all right. It make it fair, yeah. But I have to see who is going to also cause some incidents. As Burns, Ashley Burns, is currently on her first official time lap. As I said before, we'll introduce them. And here's the thing for all you 54 drivers. Regardless what happens this season, we're guaranteed a new champion. Why? The defending champion is not in this series. Yeah, if I end up getting the 8 car in this deal, they would have to start last because I would probably say something about they had problems in tack. So. $48,079 for the 37. Let's go over the drivers. That's the other female. That's Amanda Burns. I'm actually going to need to fix the this little deal so that way I don't mess up with score 4. 96 was Amanda Burns. I will need to fix that when I get ready to do the duels so that way score 4 doesn't dirt. Jesse Art in the 40 machine. Go team female. Jesse Art, the sister to Sean Art. Driving the Coors Light machine this week. Prudence Martindale, one of David Heller's drivers. Of course, David was in Group 1. We'll see how Prudence Martindale will do. There's Frank Underhill. Frank Underhill was running the 62 machine. There's Quentin Moore right there in the 34 machine. Okay, thank you, Ormy. Appreciate you. Quentin Moore driving the 34. Of course, he runs this car in the Foster Series. One of the Percy sisters, Hannah Percy. I tried to do that, Q-Man, but here's the problem. When I try to do that, it says I need to get, like, a deal for my laptop. So, yeah, the whole camera on the deal's not working. So I'll have to do something about that. Yeah. So, yeah, there's Hannah Percy. That's Haley in the 52. Driver I've never heard of. Here's one of the veteran drivers. That's Ebony Amirmoez. Driving the 99. Of course, I couldn't find the other car that was on that list. So I had to find a replacement driver at the last second, and Ebony Amirmoez came to mind. Ebony finished last season 22nd in the points. 6 top 5s, 10 top 10s when she drove the 41 machine. Unfortunately, she did not find victory lane. And speaking of her, I'm going to be remaking her her El Pollo Loco very soon because I got to get Wi-Fi fixed for some reason or clear up some space. Yeah, that was a vacuum cleaner in the background. I'm sorry about that. One of my roommates is vacuuming. That's Chase Brooks in the 92. We'll see how Chase Brooks goes. Also, Ebony Amirmoez is going to be a Monster Energy Series driver. Even though there's going to be the same, she's going to run the same number as Jacob Tutu. The only catch is she's only going to run the 041. Here's one of Ormy's drivers who I told Ormy I had to get a ride for his 2 drivers. Marianne Jamestown is one of them. Marianne Jamestown made it into the Elite 8. She came up 1 round short of making it into the Final 4 to compete for the championship as she got eliminated from the playoffs. So it was a sucky job for her. Now, remember what I said about the reason I have to, the 4th driver of DVR? That's Vanellope Von Schweetz. And for those of you that don't remember back on this channel when I did the Foster series, when we did a mix of real and development drivers, this young lady, Vanellope Von Sweets, and I don't know what is it with her and Daytona, but those two have a good love affair. She won the rookie bash, which is a race where Rookie of the Year contenders battle out in the series. She won that. She won the last time we were here at Daytona in the PCSRA. And here's the funny part. The gal that she beat that night is her teammate, which is Annie Thomas of all people. Which Thomas is like, oh, brother, here we go again. There's Cody Smart, William Davis. Those three are currently on pit road. There's Sam Davis. So Vanellope Von Sweets and Daytona have one thing in common. A great relationship, if you ask me. Which one? Are you talking about from last season? Yeah, because I did the points based off points from last season. Of course, Jamestown, like I said, did not make the playoffs. Sam Davis, of course, will try to make the race. Mohammed Zain in the 43, another driver I've never heard of before. I think I believe he's Egyptian or something like that. If he is, he's one of two in this field, the other being Ebony Mirwez. Henrietta Fitzwater, driving the 41 machine this year. Yes, I'm using the... What point system do I have? I'll have to look at what point system I'm using for the season. I think I'm using either the original point system or the Nextel 2007 points or something like that. I think. I could be wrong. So yeah. Roberto Crown Jr. making his debut on this channel. I've never had Roberto Crown Jr. on this channel before. We're excited to have him aboard. Desiree Voiles. Now, don't get confused between this one and my name, because I put my name under the last name, so Score 4 does not become a derping lizard, to where I have to go back and fix that. Desiree, by the way, is my little sister, for those that don't know. Of course, in the Monster Energy Series in 2021, she made it into, I believe, the final round of the playoffs, but came up short in winning the Drivers' Championship. There's Burns. This is a driver I have never heard of before. Alec Kaz. This is the first time I've ever heard of Alec Kaz before. Never had him in any of my series before. Oh, 96 up in the wall. There's William Davis. I just mentioned about him. Cody Smart was a two-time winner last season, but none of those two wins counted towards a spot into the playoffs. And, of course, he's driving the 39. He drove the 95 in Season 1. This is where the fastest group will be here. May take a screenshot, so if the screen freezes, just give me a second. I'm just taking a screenshot. Alexander Underwood on pit road in the 91. That's Frank Underhill. There's Percy. Brenda Eveline. Two-time winner last season, made it into the playoffs, but sadly was eliminated after the round of 12. Running the same number she ran last season, the 88. Sponsored by Nationwide Insurance. She's also going to be in that same ride in the Monster Energy Series. How interesting is that, if you ask me? There's Mark Underhill in the 66. Just came back on the track.
Good to get
Hmm?
To get us in a vein.
I know, she's doing her mileage. Dylan, okay, I'm going to butcher this one up. And to the person who signed up this name, I do apologize. Dylan Abrahamian. If I said it right, let me know in the chat. If I said it wrong, let me know in the comments when you see this video. But anyway, he is a driver that I've never heard of before. Checking to make sure anybody I did not get, and I believe this is the one I didn't get. That's the 97 of Monica Burns. This is the car that won the championship last year with Luke Knight behind the wheel. Of course, Luke Knight not returning due to the fact he's going to focus on the Monster Energy Series Championship with the NOS Energy Ford Mustang out of World NOS Racing. You'll see that coming up in a couple of months. We'll see how Monica Burns will do. There's Harley Percy, Alexander Underwood. No relationship to RBM driver Zach Underwood. Mohamed Zan, there's Sam Davis. I believe we got everybody. I'm just checking to make sure we did not forget anybody. And I believe we got them all. Yep, we got them all. Sweet. 95 is currently the quickest in this session. Roberto Crown Jr. second. Henrietta Fitzwater is third. Mohamed Zain is fourth. Cody Smart fifth. Sam Davis sixth. William Davis seventh. Desiree Voiles eighth. 66 of Mark Underhill is ninth. And the 90 machine of Harley Percy will complete the top 10. Brenda Eveling and Vanellope von Schweetz are now on the bubble. Because remember when from 13th on back, and this is something I didn't mention because we have to combine the times, you'll find out the official starting lineup in the Discord, the PCSRA Discord, which if you have not joined the PCSRA Discord, by the time this stream goes up, I will put the link in the description of this video. The reason I'm not in a VC with Sean is because I need to do this. I also need to record the Foster Series race because I've already done qualifying last night. And also, I'm going to throw this out. I am not going to be spoiling who won the pole from Michigan until you see the qualifying, just to be fair with you all. And also for, Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, Monsters, the only people who know the champions for those series are the presidents. Everybody else doesn't know it until you see the races. So, just going to throw a little warning. Then again, the only race that the presidents don't know that I do know is the Clash at Ricky Raceway. Yeah. Yeah, I hate mobile data. But like I said, I'm going to try to get a camera or try to get OBS or something or Streamlabs so I can get it to work. But the problem is I have to do it when I'm in Wi-Fi territory. Like because my room is not Wi-Fi deal, I'm going to have to go to T-Mobile to get me a Wi-Fi box. So. Yeah. So that way everything's good. I also failed to mention Daniel Voiles made it into the playoffs last season, got eliminated after the round of 16, so. Yeah, so. Oh, somebody's on the wall. Oh, it's 47 of Roberto Crown Jr. I don't know if he cut a tire down or something, because that car just shot up into the wall. He's going to lose this draft, which is too bad. Either that, or I may just combine, and never mind, I'm just going to stick with the original plan. Because I'll have to check Discord to see so I can write down on my notepad who's moving on and who is not. Should have saved it over here on my notepad. Which reminds me, I need to do this. Okay, let's get a new notepad out. There we go. I had the one for the Foster series because I already know the 6 drivers and I didn't want you guys to see a spoiler, so I decided to get rid of it and just get a new notepad out.
This is getting cold.
As the voicemail goes off. Sorry about that. Yeah, so like I said, 13th on back that didn't make it from Group 1A and 1B will be combined times, and then we'll find out who will be in which duel for the races on Wednesday. The reason they won't be tomorrow is because I have to go to work tomorrow, and I won't be off until 8, so I may just record the Foster Series main event. If not, I probably will wait until like Saturday to do it. Depending if we have anything to do Saturday, then I will probably put it to Sunday. As Burns has left the pit lane. Amanda Burns, that is. There's the lineup as of now. And the kicker is Sean Art's not going to be happy about this because Jesse Art's going to be the only Art family member who's going to advance into the next round. So guess what? Jesse Art is going to out-qualify Sean again. And Sean's going to go bleep, 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 bleep. But remember Sean's famous words, time for me to wreck the field. Well, he wrecked the field in that first session. I don't know if he's going to wreck the field in this one. How's my battery coming along? Oh, it's down to 46%. I'll probably need to charge my phone in a little bit. So reserve cars will move on. Well, all 54 are running for the championship right now. Also, after this race weekend here at Daytona, if you finish in the top 35 top 35, you are locked in the show for the next race. I also forgot to mention that. If you finish 35 on up, you are locked into the 500. Or not 500, excuse me. You're locked into the next race. Excuse me. I don't know why I said 500. But, anywho. So, because remember, after this race, we'll lock in the top 35 drivers. Yeah, I was going to mention, for the 4 drivers that got involved in a wreck, by the way, they have gone to the infield care center. And I will need to go back through the times and see, because I think the 6 was involved, and I believe the 6, the 2, the 22 were in the top 12 that I know of. And I can't remember... No, the 13 did not make it in the next round. That I recall. Unless Ormy wants to go back through the stream and look and see if I am correct or if I'm incorrect. But I might be correct. But I know those 4 will be going to the rear for the duels on Wednesday. Okay, Sean didn't advance. Okay. So, Sean is exempt. However, for the other 3, I think they will definitely probably not move on. And those 3 that I just mentioned, that were outside the cut line, they would move on to the next round, barring if they didn't go to a backup car or not. But either way, Sean, I know, will have to start at the rear of the field, regardless what duel he will be in. The 2 will be likewise. The 6 is likewise. And the 22 will also be likewise. We understand from the officials, Courtney Lynn is going to repair her car, so she will not be going to a backup car, which is good news. And I believe she was one of the drivers that was outside the cut line. So she would end up moving on to the next round, no matter what happens. But like I said, the duels will now be in the lineups for the duels will be in the description, and you'll see the parentheses who's going to the back. Cody Smart, by the way, is the fastest. It's fine. Oh, there's Cody McGorvick. I forgot to introduce Cody McGorvick. I apologize for that. There's Cody Smart, who is the fastest in this session. But Cody will have to start at the rear of the field, even though he's not in a backup car. Cody Smart will be starting at the rear of the field. Now, some of you are asking, wait a minute, what do you mean Cody Smart is going to the rear of the field? Let me explain. Because of what happened towards the end of the Triple P season, in which Cody Smart said a bunch of F words and yada, 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 wherever Cody Smart qualifies, will all go for naught, because he will have to start the rear of the field because of the fact that part of his penalty that he received when he was suspended from a global event, which we did predictions for Brazil, which would meant he would start the Oreo Cup Series Gatorade duel, whichever duel he's in, at the rear of the field. So even if Cody Smart wins the pole, he would end up starting last in his duel race. Which wouldn't be fun for Cody, if you know what I mean, despite being the fastest in this group. And also, Cody has a little habit of doing the reverse cards and all that, which didn't sit well with the officials. Bet you Nathan Orman seems probably hard at work trying to make some adjustments to get him ready for the duels on Wednesday. Because that will be the next stream you'll see, is the duels on Wednesday. Probably getting a report. We might end up having weather coming in here at Daytona, because it's been cloudy all day and there's been a threat of rain coming. So if it rains now, then we'll find out who will be on the front row, because we'll be using Group 1's times. I gotta charge my phone because my battery's about to start going down. Yeah. I know it's the 2, the 6, and the 22 that I know will start the back. Alright, let me get ready to charge my phone here, y'all. Yep, 2. Oops. That was not what I wanted you to do, you derping lizard. Hang on a second. Alright. There we go. Supposed to have a chance of rain here at Daytona because of how cloudy it is. So if the rain starts coming down now, which is looking like it's going to happen in the next few minutes, then the rest of qualifying could end up being canceled, and we'll just use Group 1 times to determine who will be on the pole and all that. So, which would suck if that isn't indeed the case, which is looking like with the weather coming down, it could happen. As we're hoping the weather does not become a thing. So, okay, it was the 5, 3, and 9 that would, yeah, the 5, 3, and 9 will definitely transfer in the next round. Some drivers scraping the wall. Hopefully it'll be sunny for the duels on Wednesday. Because remember, this is the only time these drivers will be on track together is qualifying, because the next time they're on track, it's the duels. And there's going to be a pit stop in this race. So don't say these drivers are going to make it as far as the pit stops are concerned. We're under 10 minutes to go in this session. Next one will be 20 minutes in round 2, and then 15 minutes for round 3. So that will be the deal. And of course, if the stream freezes, it's because I'm working on who transferred and who didn't. I am chewing some ice, so please be advised. Yeah. So Cody Smart, oh, he got knocked down. Frank Underhill's now the fastest. 44.733. Beats Cody Smart by almost 20 hundredths. Penelope Von Schweetz looks like she's going to be one of 2 DVR drivers who's moving on to the next round. Of course, the other one will be her team owner, Daniel Voiles. Now we did get through everybody. Bonia Mirmo is 45.807. Boy, she's got a lot of work to do between now and Wednesday. If Q-Man's still in here, I'm going to show you a little proof. See right here, it says you need a media feature pack, which is what I need to install for my camera. So I would have to install that soon. So, yes. Hope everybody is excited. Of course, I do apologize, like I said, for starting this a little late because I just got out of the shower because I had pop all over me. If you're asking what kind of pop, it's AMW root beer. So yeah. There's Ebony, who's in this pack right here. Joking, of course, yeah. One of a few people who are sticking around and all that, so yeah. By the way, the officials have agreed with me. Cars 5, 3, and 9 will be transferring into the next round, replacing the 2, 6, and 22 because they were involved in that big wreck. So there you go. So Reggie Fogelman will be moving on to the next round. The 2, the 6, and the 22, as I said, were whatever lap time they had their fastest lap time on. We'll have to see where this is going to situate them in the duels. I will, however, need some help with the playoff schemes. Yes, there will be playoffs for those of you that don't know. There will be 16 drivers like last season. So if you guys win a race, you are in the playoffs, providing you stay in the top 30 in points. Problem, Ormy. Kyle Langland is not a DVR car. You know why? Because Kyle Langland's driving a Dodge, not a Ford. You see my point? The only 4 drivers that are part of DVR is you, me, Annie Thomas, and Vanellope von Schweetz because we're running the same manufacturer. Kyle's running a Dodge, not a Ford. So I would have to find a 25 car, which is a Ford, to even count Langland as a DVR, if you know what I mean. DVR stands for Daniel Voiles Racing, for those of you that don't know. So if you hear me say the words DVR, it refers to Daniel Voiles Racing, which is my team. Then again, the only time it's not being used in any of the PCS race series is the Monster Energy series because it's under World NOS Racing. Yeah. As long as my laptop does not freeze, we'll be fine. I had a little issue with NR glitching and all that, which I apologize for. I'm newer than new. Well, yeah. So, yes. If you guys are looking forward to the events, actually, let me go ahead and give you a bit of a schedule announcement. So, after the Daytona 500, which is, if I pull up my calendar, it is, of course, today's the 12th. let me see. Michigan is this Friday for the non-charter series. I still gotta record the main event for Michigan. Michigan is, let's see, the 9th was last week, 7. So it would be this Friday, December 16th, we'll have the non-charter race. The 17th will be, or not non-charter, excuse me, the part-time race. The 17th of December will be qualifying and the main event for the Michigan race for Foster's. Then the 18th, which is this upcoming Sunday, will be the Daytona 500 for the Oreo Cup Series. Then we are off for 2 weeks because of the holidays, because I'm not going to be recording anything on the holidays between now and then. Then January the 3rd will be the season opener of the AutoZone Amateur Series right here at Daytona. And then we'll have Foster's and Oreo back that same week. Foster's will be at Lime Rock Park. And this series, I will need to look at the Discord and figure out where the series is going after Daytona, unless Nathan Orman's going to look that up for me. Because I need to put it on here so I can memorize what track we're going to, so that way I don't have to rely on Ormy, if you know what I mean. So after the 500, this series will be off in about 3 weeks or so. Yeah. Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, this would be, the Oreo Cup Series would actually be the last race for 2022 as far as the NR side of things is concerned. Because like I said, when we come back from the holidays, we'll have our first race for the amateur series here at Daytona, the Lucas Oil 200. That will be 5 o'clock Eastern time for those of you that want to know what time I'm going to do that race. Which means Cody Smart, Nathan Orman, Zachary Taylor, and all of our Triple B friends, their pre-race show begins at 2 o'clock Eastern, as that is it for this session. No wrecks we've had. And the 95 gets in. Wow. Huh. Rickware Racing beats a Hendrick car. That is a bruh. So, since nobody crashed in this group, which is sad for Sean's sake, Frank Underhill, Cody Smart, Mohammed Zain, Prudence Martindale, Henrietta Fitzwater, well, that's good for Zachary Fitzwater, Mark Underhill, Vanellope Von Sweet, Jesse Hart, Desiree Voiles, William Davis, Hannah Percy, and Eric Kaz took the final transfer spot. Unfortunately, drivers who will miss out on round number 2, and that's a heartbreaker for Brenda Eveling. Missed it by 4 1/1000ths of a second. Big difference there. I'll wait till it's done. And there it is. Brenda Eveling, Alexander Underwood, Monica Burns, Sam Davis, Dylan Abrahamian, Roberto Crown Jr., Ebonia Mirwes, Chase Brooks, Keoman, Ashley Burns, Harley Percy, Cody McGorvick, Marianne Jamestown, Amanda Burns, and Harley Percy. Sadly for those drivers, they will not make it into the next round, and we'll see where this is going to situate these drivers right down here from 13th on down. So we have 62, 39, 43, 42, 41. How funny is that? I can't believe an NBM car has outqualified a freaking Hendrick car. That's a kind of a BRUH moment, if you ask me. 46, 40, 72. TriStar made the next round. That's kind of surprising. So did Beard Motorsports. What on earth is this session, folks? And then 95. Okay. So give me 1 second. I will be right back so I can get about that. I had to write down the list. So 3, 5, and 9 transfers into the next round as I'm going to do this. All right, let me get the and we will get ready to continue qualifying for Daytona. So, all right, round 2. All right, it was 1, 3, 4. A couple of rookies who kind of surprised me. I'll get to that in just a second. Shelton made it. Cody said, "Bro," when Carolina Bradley made it. There you are. 12, 18. 25, I was in the 26. I was in the red car. 26, 31, 32. All right, now from this group. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. I just put my phone down so I can put the list together, guys. Sorry about that. 46. Just give my hand a little bit of a rest. 51. 72, 75. 62. And I'm missing a driver. Shit. 66. Did I get 66? I did not. Alright, there we go. Alright, got the 24 drivers that I needed. Yeah, actually, no, Reggie, you made it in the next round because they did confirm. You guys moving on to the next round because they just confirmed the 2, the 6, and the Hi, Cody. Back to what I was saying. The 2, the 6, and the 22 were involved in the wreck, and they did not move on to the next round. Is my eyes deceiving me, or did I see 16 degrees right there? Oh my God! Look at the temperature. It's 16 degrees. What on earth, bruh? Edward, can you stop brawling me with these damn temperatures? Like, what on earth are you doing? Oh my God. So after round 1, it's time for round number 2. Only NR can you come up with these weird temperatures. I've seen weird temperatures like -999. Like, why? 20 minutes. Round 2 is 20 minutes. Round 3 will be 20 minutes as well. Do we seriously have 2 veterans in the next round? Let's see here. 1. Wait, where's the... Oh, wait a second. That's not the right list. God damn it. Mother trucker. That was not the right list. God damn it. That was group 1, you dart. Wow, that was a fail on my part, y'all. Okay, now the sun's come out. Sorry about that. I had the wrong group out. My bad. I'm getting old. Now we're in round 2. I'm sorry, y'all. This is what happens when I have a wacky ass sleep schedule and I don't go to bed till like 3:30 or 4 in the morning. I was wondering why why I didn't have the right roster. Good job, me. Okay, now we got that little issue fixed. Penguins. All right. There's Courtney Lynn, Prince Martindale, and yep, the sun has popped up. Now, to go back to answer Cody's question before I have another fail. Apparently I did not give Kyle Langland the R. I will need to fix that. But yes, to answer Cody's question, yes, there is 2 veteran drivers that made it to the next round, Smart and I. How ironic is that? I find that really funny and hilarious at the same time. I believe everybody is, well, some people are still in the pit lane. Yep, here we go. Now your goal is to make it into the top 12. Only on Daytona 500 did I butcher that one up. But yeah, in all seriousness, I'll say this. There's a couple of people who really surprised me. Like, I'm surprised both Chip Ganassi cars made it in the next round. Problem, Cody. I'm talking about... Ormy is a rookie in the Oreo Cup Series, you darp. Taylor is also a rookie in Oreos as well, you darp. And Teal is a veteran in the series, you darp. So nice job, Cody. That's three derps you just got, you darp. So anyway, yeah, Teal, Cody, and I made it in the next round. So yeah, see, Kyle has no rookies. See, this is what happens when you don't have your head in the game. A couple of people who surprised me that didn't make it to the next round, like Marianne Jamestown, top 5 in the point standings. That's a big surprise. Brenda Eveling, 9th in points from last year. That's another surprise. Langland doesn't surprise me because he was 7th, so... Cody threw Green Jr. down the mountain. That was kind of funny. But in all seriousness, And by the way, Ormy got a dirt because you see this? It's a Dodge. Kyle England is not driving a Ford, Ormy, you derping lizard. He's driving a Dodge. Here's the proof. So if you say he's part of DVR, look at the grill, you derp. Well, what does derp mean? It's because when I say, like, nice derp, like, if you do a misspelling and all that, that counts as a derp point. So, anyway. Back to the nature of this discussion. Henrietta Fitzwater kind of surprised me. D-word Green Jr. Unfortunately, I can't type in the chat, but that's all right. I swear, if we have a bra pulser, that would be awesome. Now, the best part is, for these drivers that made it in the top 24, wherever you end up in the session, that's where you're going to start in Duel 1. So, like, first, third, fifth, etc., you'll be in the Would be nice if Maximilian got the pole. Right now, Cody Smart is the slowest in this session. I can't believe we've been on the air for, what, almost 100 minutes? Holy shit. That's called the nature of the stream, gonna get good views, if you know what I mean. I will upload the stream once the qualifying's done, so. Want to remind everyone, this telecast is presented by the authority of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association, and it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts of the description of this broadcast may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association. PCS, we want to thank you fans for your continued support. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Yeah. The best part of Green Junior derping is on my stream. Yes, it is. Now we need Zachary Taylor to derp on my Twitch stream, which, by the way, I'm going to be streaming Wheel of Fortune on my Twitch, so if you guys want to go follow me on Twitch, we are almost to 50 followers over there. The Twitch name, rather, will be in the description once this video goes up. 31 not in a draft, going to get swallowed up by this group. Here's a funny note. Desiree Voiles and Daniel Voiles, brother and sister, in the next round. That's kind of a little bit surprising, if you ask me. Mohammed Zan's about to get swallowed up by this pack right back here. Right here. Zachary Taylor currently 7th quickest. Here's a bit of irony. Looky here, the 26, the 39, the 18. What do those three drivers have in common? They were the top 3 in the overall standings from this past season of Triple P. And looky there, they're drafting each other. How sweet. Cody. Oh, Daddy, don't even bring that up. Now Cody and Taylor are going to try to draft me in the 26. Like, come over here, Daddy. We got a draft with you. Reggie Fogelman, let's see where you are at. Oh, you're 16th quickest. And you just came out of the pits. This driver really just shocked Cody Smart. Wait, let's see. Has she outqualified? No, she has not outqualified Cody. If she outqualifies Cody in this session, I'm going to start laughing. Chilton is 10th quickest. Chilton, as of now, could be running for the pole. You know, it'd be funny if the 12 car makes it into the final round of qualifying over Cody Smart, who gets knocked out. That would be funny as hell. All right, we'll be here, Tequila. I did last night. I took 2 deals of meat, or 2 packets of. I took these 2 grams last night because I didn't know if we were going to do burgers or tacos. Oh, we do burgers yesterday. Have some patties somewhere. Yeah, we have some patties in here, but I was thinking about doing tacos tonight and hamburgers tomorrow. In this one? No, I think they were, I meant to get them from the garage. Alright. Alright. 1 second, guys. Let me take her this quick errand and then I'll get back with you. Alright, sorry about that. I had to do a favor for my house manager. Sorry about that. But, alright. So, Carolina Bradley, 20th quickest, but to be fair, she's really impressed a lot of people here in Speed Weeks. This guy right here is on the bubble to transfer. Right now, the 85 or 95, sorry, is the fastest. Did we have an incident, or I thought we had an incident for a second, but apparently I didn't see if we had one. As Kaz just got around Dino Voiles. Dino Voiles trying to get back up to speed. Cody Smart now 20th quickest, and Carolina Bradley just jumped ahead to 9th. That's going to push the 4 out, and of course Prudence Martindale got pushed out. Hola, Senor Sean. I'm sorry if I didn't start a VC with you, Senor. And where is Jessie Art? She is 22nd quickest. I swear to God, this driver right here is really about to do the bro moment. Cody's like, oh my gosh, if she wins the pole for the 500, then that is a mega bra moment. At a young age, may I add, which is really impressive for a driver like her. I swear, if she pulls this one off, I'm going to say bruh. Yeah, we'll see where this is going to situate Sean, because like I said, when I put the times combined, we'll have the official qualifying time results from Daytona. Tequila's off to go pick up my other three roommates, not my other 3 drivers. You know what's really funny for you, Reggie Fogelman? You went from possibly missing round 2 to possibly making it into the final round of qualifying, which is a bruh. Your 3rd quickest, Reggie. There you are. Reggie Fogelman just got a gift from the officials, and he may end up making it into the final round of qualifying, which would be a massive bruh moment if that is indeed the case. Wow, 5 people. All right, see ya, Frank. Like I said, I will put the times, I will put all of the starting grids in the Discord, so that way you guys can see where you guys are going to finish up. Wow, we've been live for over 100 minutes. Incredible. As of now, the 95, the 12, the 3, the 43, 75, 25, 5, 41, 32, 9, 31, 26 would move on to the final round of qualifying. Wow, I would beat Zachary Taylor, shockingly. It would be possibly 2 Triple P panelists that makes it into the final round, and ironically, it would be Teal and myself. That's so funny. Teal and I beating Cody Smart. That's a bra moment. Carolina Bradley's on the front row right now, or 2nd quickest. All right, give me 1 second. I will give you the link. Give me 1 second after this session is done. I will take care of that for you, Reggie. Just private message me on Discord, and I'll send it to you. as we're down to 4 minutes left to go in this session. And this driver right here is really the big surprise. The 95, that is Eric Kaz. How would it be for Eric Kaz to get a pole in his debut race on this channel? Wouldn't that be something? I don't know what Cody Smart said to Carolina Bradley before this season began, but somebody lit a fire in her, and wow, she's making the most of it. Wouldn't that be awesome if Carolina Bradley becomes the youngest pole sitter ever to start on the pole for the 500? And Kaz is coming to pit road. There's Daniel Voiles. He is knocked out. He's down to 17th. Prudence Martindale just moved up to 6th quickest. Desiree Voiles jumps ahead of Daniel Voiles. Of course, Desiree is the sister to Daniel Voiles. Henrietta Fitzwater, is on the bubble. Zachary Fitzwater watching from the pit lane, seeing his wife out-qualify him, which is a surprise. Of course, Zachary and Henrietta Fitzwater have a crap load of kids. And they also have I would say kind of like a foster child, which is Annie Thomas, which, yeah. Of course, Annie Thomas has already gone to the showers. Someone just scraped the wall there. I didn't know who it was. I thought it was Daniel Voiles, but I think it might have been the 3, but no harm, no foul. David Heller currently the slowest. How embarrassing for David Heller is if he gets out-qualified by his teammate in the 42, which would be a shocker. As we're down to under 2 minutes to go in the session. Jesse Art would be in duel number 1, and like I said, depending where Sean's going to be in, what duel he'll be in, Sean, of course, will have to start the rear of the field because he is in a backup car, and I bet he and Bradley Ream currently had a discussion on what happened in that session. Bet you Vanellope von Schweetz is going to miss this session. That's too bad because Vanellope looked like she had a good car in Group 1, but unfortunate she's not going to advance, which is too bad. But hey, at least 22nd and also out-qualifying Annie Thomas and Nathan Orman. And of course, as of now, she would start 11th in duel number 2. Like I said, this is going to set who will start where in the duels, because 13th, where the 41 is, will be duel 1. 14th, 32 is 14th quickest, would be duel 2, so on, so on. As we're down to less than 20 seconds left to go in this session. And there's the big surprise. Carolina Bradley is going to advance into the next round. In fact, she's the only Penske car of all to advance into the next round of qualifying. And what's more bizarre is she out-qualified her team owner, Cody Smart, of all people. I swear to God, if Carolina Bradley wins the pole for this race, everybody is going to be saying a BRUH in the PCS. Oh, imagine Anna Leonard running in this series out-qualified. Just like imagine Anna Leonard out-qualifying Elijah Gordon. Wouldn't that be funny as hell if that happened one of these days? It would be cool, but it would be a bra moment if you ask me. Reggie Fogelman, you are going to make the final round of qualifying. You went from getting rewarded because of the 3 drivers who crashed out of this qualifying, who crashed out in Group 1A, to having a chance to go for a pole. And here's a bit of irony. Only one veteran is into the final round of qualifying, Kyle Langland. The odds of having a rookie front row is looking very good, ladies and gentlemen. Looking real good. And now, I will do this. 95, 5. Wow, Courtney Lynn made it. That's a shocker there. 31. Zachary Taylor made it. Wow, that's a shocker. Zachary Taylor outqualified Cody. That's even funnier. 43, 25, 3, 66. Wow, the 66 made the race and outqualified Cody. That's a shocker there. So Eric Klass, Courtney Lynn, Carolina Bradley, Samet Ozkan. I'll go ahead and do this zoom right there. Oh, that may be too much. Mohammed Zane, Kyle Langland, Reggie Fogelman, Mark Underhill, Prudence Martindale, and William Davis will be battling to see who will start on the pole for the Daytona 500. Drivers who miss out on making it into the next round of qualifying are Hannah Percy, Henrietta Fitzwater, Jessica Shelton, Frank Underhill, Desiree Voiles, Daniel Voiles, Cody Smart, Maximilian Chilton, Allison Liera, Vanellope Von Schweich, Jesse Art, and David Heller. Good job to Jesse Art. She will start 12th in duel number 1. And now we have our 12 drivers that will be in round number 3. So let's get this grid set up. And then we will go from there. Surprise, surprise. The 12 car is still the quickest in this game. So I can get the final round of qualifying. The moment is killing us. Making sure you don't have ratings. Oh, you do. Okay, 1 second while we make some adjustments for these drivers. Who is going to make the pole? I swear to God, Carolina Bradley makes the pole for the 500. That would be the biggest upset in the history of historyness. Yes, I know that's kind of a good line. And hope you guys enjoyed this very long video. I know it's super long, but hey, it was well worth it. And I bet all those kids are like, if you get off school and you're bored because of the substitute teacher being stupid and you want to watch this video, good for you. I applaud you for that. But congratulations to the 12 drivers who made it into the final round of qualifying. Now we're about to find out who is going to lock themselves on the front row for the Daytona 500. And I bet you Jesse Art's probably laughing at Sean right now for out-qualifying him, which is a bra moment. We have 95. Can't believe Courtney Lynn made it in the final round. Boy, Courtney Lynn trying to please Nathan Orman. That's impressive, children. Okay, you're good. We have 31. That'd be Samet Ozkan. I can't believe he's made it in the next round. Zachary Taylor is going to make the next round of qualifying, which is good for him. Okay, here comes a bro moment. Imagine if a Go Fast racing car sits on the pole, that would be a huge upset. And I'll be saying, wow, we have a bro moment. Qualifying produced a bro moment. Okay, Reggie Fogelman made it in the final round. How would it be for Reggie Fogelman to win the pole for this race? And to guarantee his spot into the 500. Prudence Martindale out-qualified David Gene Heller. Well, David will be proud of Prudence Heller. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. We're about to find out who starts on the pole for the Daytona 500. 12 drivers, 20 minutes, excuse me there. Who will start on the pole for the Daytona 500? We're about to find out very soon. And nobody will have a head start advantage as far as having the pit stalls. So all the pit stalls will be in front for these 12 drivers. So we see most of them on pit road. I only see 3 of them on pit road. Nobody's left the pit lane. Well, as soon as I say that, here comes the 31. All right, what you have is what you have. We started this about, what? A little after 2 o'clock Eastern time. Oh, 31 blew up. 31 has gone kaboom. Wah, wah, wah. That means Samet Ozkan will have an engine change, and he'll be starting at the rear of the field for his dual race. Tough break for 31. So add him to the list of drivers that will start at the rear of the field. That makes it what? 5 drivers that have to go to the rear of the field in their dual races respectively. And that's our first mechanical failures. Kyle Langland will have the first time, will start his first time lap. This is going to put the 31 in a big hole going into the duels on Wednesday. Nobody has set a lap time, and of course the 31 went down the back straightaway and went kaboom. And Kyle Langland, 48.909. That's the benchmark everybody's going to have to aim for. 66, 48.753. Most of these drivers are in single file. You've got to get into a big pack like this group right here if you're going to have a chance. Remember, wherever the 31's going to qualify, he will have to start at the rear of the field for the dual races. Because I'll have to do the duels. 43, Zayna 47.458. And the 75, William Davis, 47.946. Currently, that is your front row as of now, but we're still in the early stages of this session. Bradley goes 5th quickest. This is crunch time for these drivers. $18.95 and 31 have yet to set a time. Well, 31 was going to start his time till the engine went kaboom on his Chevy Camaro. So they placed a new engine in the car. Now we wait for Zachary Taylor to set a lap time. Is Taylor on track? Yes is the answer. He goes 6th quickest. So everyone has set a lap time. As of now, the 75 and the 43 are the front row right now for the Daytona 500. Remember, that's the only thing we're setting is the front row. We're going to set everybody else via the duels on Wednesday, which will be a 1 o'clock Eastern time start. And they're going to be the twin 120. They're going to be the twin 125s. Which will be 50 laps. I believe the 500 is going to be about 70. You are 8th quickest, Reggie. 8th quickest. There you are. Pushing Courtney Lynn in the 5. And like I said, and as I said before, and I'll say it again, this is also setting the grids for our dual races on Wednesday, excuse me. Of course, the duels will be at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, the Gatorade 125s. Gatorade duels, which will be 125 miles, 50 laps. These drivers will have to make a stop. You all are asking, how far can they go on a fuel run? 37. That's when fuel mileage can come into play for those duels, especially if you're trying to make the top 14. But like I said, these times right here could be the difference if you make the 500 or, in the words of Larry McReynolds, have to load up and go home. Fogelman's coming to pit road. That's going to hurt the speed on the 5 car. Kyle Langland, the slowest now in this session. Samet Ozkan is the fastest. Here's the problem. If he wins the pole, he starts at the back because remember, he's got an engine change. So that would mean whoever wins the dual race, they will start on the pole for dual race number 1. William Davis right now would be, I believe, actually, I don't know how I'm going to do this one. I think the 31 may be out of it. But I'll have to get a confirmation because I think with the 31, if he does win the pole for the 500, he would have to go the rear of the field, and whoever would start on the pole, or whoever wins the dual race, will start on the pole for the 500 because the 31 had to start the rear of the field. William Davis, I know, will be on the front row for the Daytona 500. Barring if he doesn't get involved in an accident in the dual race on Wednesday. And if that's the case, the 95 could be the pole sitter. We'll see. 75 went 46.028, or the 75 would actually be the pole sitter for the 500. The 95 would be alongside, because remember, 31, even though he's the quickest in this session, he would have to go the rear of the field for the dual races on Wednesday. So we only have a total of 5 drivers who have to start the rear of the field. Unless someone knocks the 95 or 31 off the pole. Reggie Fogelman by his lonesome. Samet Ozkan just went to pit road. As we're halfway through the session. This final round of qualifying going to get really interesting. Muhammad just went quicker. 45.694. Muhammad Zain is on the pole. William Davis alongside. That's your front row right now as we're at 10 minutes left in this final round of qualifying. Thanks for joining us for this long stream here today. We'll be back on Wednesday for the Gatorade Duels. If the 43 and the 75 stay where they are and without wrecking, they will be your front row for the 500. The 95 would start third due to the 31 going to the rear. Where's the 3 of Fogelman? No, Fogelman's all by his lonesome. The only 2 that's going to pick him up will be Taylor, and that's Emily Jones. Now it'll be big for Emily Jones because, like I said, if she doesn't make the top 14, it goes back to time trials. And some drivers on owner points, but some drivers on time trials. I think the last 12 would get in the field based on time. If we don't have anybody on points, which I may end up doing that. And those drivers who didn't qualify well, they're going to have to race their way into the 500. And surprisingly, it's going to be 3 of the 4 Joe Gibbs cars who would have to race their way in the 500, because here's the thing, the 20 car last year in points 33rd did not have a good time, good qualifying time, so the 20, I can guarantee you, is going to be in desperation of having to race her way in the 500. Trying to check. Let's see, 19. I think Brenda Eveling's going to be okay. Even if Brenda Eveling does not make the race, she can fall back on her points. Same with Mary and Jamestown. And same for the 97, because the 97 won the championship last season. So those cars that I just documented, they can fall back on owner points. Most of those drivers that don't have any points to fall back on, they have to race their way in. And because remember, let's see here, the 2's going to have to race her way in. The 2 had a good qualifying time when we put these times combined. We'll have to see who's going to have to race their way in. I know Langland will be okay because he's safe in points. So if Langland doesn't make the top 14, he's going to fall back on points. I think the only people who I think should be safe would be Jamestown, Langland, Eveline, Daniel Voiles. I can throw his name in that list, and that's it. Annie Thomas, I don't know. 19th on points last season. I don't know. I know Reggie Fogelman will. I think Reggie Fogelman should be okay. Fogelman's 12th quickest. Reggie should be fine. So if as soon as I say that, he's now 10th. So that means for drivers who didn't have points to fall back on, they should be okay. I think Reggie Fogelman looks okay as far as making the 500 on time. He would be one of the 6 drivers that make it in on time. Prudence Martindale, I believe, will be okay. I think these drivers who made it into round 3, if they don't... Yeah. Yes.
You get Mario?
Not just Mario, Andre and Brian.
And also Brian too?
Yes. She said she was going to go get all 3 of them. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But what I was about to get ready to say, back on topic here, I was going to mention Reggie Fogelman, as far as yourself is concerned, yes, you don't have any points to fall back on, but If you remain right where you are, P10, you should be okay as far as your time is concerned. I think Prudence Martindale should be okay as far as time, because like I said, if you don't make the top 14, it goes back to time trials. So this could really be helping you guys out as far as time trials is concerned, because the last 6 are going to have to go to owner points. Because like I said, top 15, excluding the front row, will make the 500. Next 6 cars get in on time, and then the final 6 spots are going to be based on owner points. And if we don't have a champions provisional, which we don't have, it goes back to time trials. So I wouldn't be feeling too good if I'm drivers like Cody Smart, 29th on points. And yeah, so I think Cody's going to have to race his way in, I think. Otherwise, Cody's going to be in trouble. The 2 car, I know we'll have to see where the 2 car situates as far as racing their way in. The 21 should be safe on points. Because if Reggie Fogelman has the 8 car, and I don't know what driver he wants to put in for the 8 car, the 8 car can still make the 500 based on points. But remember, the 8 car would have to start last in one of the dual races. So there is a lot to play for. And as of right now, the 43 is still the quickest. So with that 45.694, as of now, the 43 and the 75 would be your front row for the 500. The 31, though, yes, he would be 3rd quickest, which means he would be good as far as the time, but remember, he has to start the back due to a engine change. Courtney Lynn should be okay as far as her time, so 4th quickest. Okay, Eli Wolf. Okay, Eli will have to start last because I will probably say he had problems in inspection. But fortunately for Eli Wolf, if he doesn't make the top 14, he can fall back on points that Seth Cole occupied for the 8 car. Or actually, correction, the 42 would actually make the 500. I forgot the 42 ended up making the final 4. So Prudence Martindale is, no matter what happens, Prudence Martindale is going to be in the 500, no matter what. She has a good time. Her owner points from Bouvier is good, so I think I see a few drivers already might have just secured themselves a spot, possibly in the 500, based off time and points. Zachary Taylor, however, has to race his way in or has to qualify on time, and I think he would be good. I think the 66 is looking good. Langland should be okay. I think a couple of drivers who I should be a little nervous about is Annie Thomas, 19th on points. I don't know where she ended up on time. So I think Thomas may be okay as far as points is concerned, but like the 2, let me see, the 2, the 20 is going to have to race their way in because they didn't have a good time trial. Their points are not good. I'd be nervous if I'm Monica Towns in the 20, or Maddie Crenshaw in the 20, because I wouldn't be feeling too good if I was Zachary Taylor, knowing that one of his drivers is going to have to race their way into the 500s. We're less than coming up to a minute to go in this qualifying session. So Eli Wolf will start last. And here's the thing. If Eli Wolf does not go to victory lane, the driver who was in the car for the Clash will run the All-Star race. Should point that out. If you don't make it into, if you don't win the first 13 races of the season when we get to All-Star race weekend, then the driver who was in the car for the Clash will be filling in for you for the All-Star race. Because like I said, we're going to have drivers from Season 1 that will be in the All-Star race because they have one-race deals. So there you go. And it's looking like the 43 out of Richard Petty Motorsports, Mohammed Zain, is going to be the pole sitter for the Great American Race. Who had that on their bingo card list when waking up this morning? And William Davis, mission accomplished. The car was 21st on points, but with him locking himself a spot with his second place result, William Davis, regardless what happens on Thursday, or on Wednesday rather, will make the Daytona 500 on his time. Now, the 43 and the 75 need to do one thing and one thing only. Do not wreck your cars in the duels, because if you do, you go to a backup car, you start shotgun at the rear of the field. And to the team owner of this driver, congratulations. You just won the pole for the biggest race of the year. Congratulations. Cement Oscom was supposed to start second, but he will start the rear of the field. So Eric Klaas will start second. Reggie Fogelman will start third. Taylor will start fourth. And Carolina Bradley will start fifth. So William Davis will be on pole, Courtney Lennon alongside. I'm going to shove the official so the official doesn't interrupt me. Row 2 will be Prudence Martindale, Emily Jones. Row 3 will be Mark Underhill and Kyle Langland, and so on. So that, my friends, is going to do it for qualifying. Mohammed Zain and William Davis, we now know, are locked into the 500, and that's big for the 43 because the 43 was one of those drivers who had to qualify on time to make the 500. Well, guess what? Mission accomplished for that 43 team. So now they don't have to worry about having to race their way in on Wednesday. And William Davis won't have to worry about racing his way in because he is currently safe as far as his time is concerned. So congratulations to them. Thank you all for joining for this live stream version of Daytona 500 qualifying here at Daytona. If you guys enjoyed this stream and this sessions, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. You are starting, because of you qualified 7th, but you're starting 3rd in the duel because the 31 has to drop to the rear, Reggie. See, you're 7th, but because the 31's going to back, the 95 will start 5th. You would start 2nd rather. Fail. And then you would start 3rd because, like I said, the 31's going to the back. So anyway, the official lineups for the duels will be on the Discord for the event you will see on Wednesday. The duels will be at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hope you will join us for that. But until then, I've been Daniel Holes, the Blue Hedgehog, signing out. Thanks for watching as I hug Nathan Orman, the huggable hedgehogs, and all of my huggable friends. Sportsnet PCSRA is next, as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of PCSRA TV, the best in racing around the world since 2017. So long from Daytona. We'll see you for the duels on Wednesday.